Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
The Soul Song is an epic fantasy that opens with catastrophe and then keeps asking what comes after survival. Author Daniel Shealy builds the novel around Denny, a village boy who becomes the unwilling bearer of a world-shaping force called the Song. But the book never narrows into a one-lane, chosen one story. It spreads outward through multiple points of view, giving the world a layered feel from the start. Grief-struck survivors, political rivals, watchful Draken, and people trying to name what's happening before it swallows them. What held me most was the sense that the book's real subject is not power by itself, but change, memory, and the cost of carrying either one. Shealy writes in a heightened, almost ceremonial register, but he keeps it close to bodies, weather, ash, breath, and stone, so the language rarely floats away from the scene. The book likes to return to images until they gather force, especially fire, wings, and song, and that gives the whole thing a mythic pulse. Even the central idea of the Soul Song is framed less as a shiny destiny than as an old burden. A soul song is a memory the world refuses to forget. That line gets at the book's tone better than any plot summary could. It's an intimate fantasy told with a long echo behind it. I also liked how much the novel trusts its ensemble. Denny is the emotional hinge, but Kailari brings iron to the book, Leori brings tenderness and stubborn loyalty, Tara brings force, and Albion and Veridin keep the antagonistic side from feeling flat. The point of view shifts aren't just there to widen the map, they let the story argue with itself. One character sees duty as inheritance, another sees it as pressure, another as law, another as love. The book's structure gives it the feel of a first volume that wants to earn its scale. It starts in ruin, moves through survival and pursuit, and then gathers its threads into a larger political and spiritual conflict without losing the human cost underneath. The novel's real momentum comes less from twisty plotting than from emotional accumulation and atmosphere. It wants you to sit inside dread, ritual, and recovery. For me, that worked because the world building is tied to feeling rather than lecture. The Vame, the divisions among the Draken, and the tensions among tribes all emerge as parts of lived belief, not just background notes. The Soul Song is a serious, emotionally bruised, lyrically written fantasy debut that cares about aftermath as much as spectacle. It's a book of ash, memory, and stubborn endurance, and it knows how to make those things feel large without losing sight of individual people. By the end, it doesn't try to fake a neat finish. It closes with scars, fragile alliances, and a future that feels earned rather than merely teased. I came away thinking this is the kind of fantasy that wants to sing, but it also wants to grieve, remember, and keep walking.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.